I'm like, how are you feeling about people seeing you masturbate, like,
on
camera?
That's a better question, yeah.
I mean, I've said it before, but it's not. Like, I'll say it again, like, that's not my cum face. That's...
Yeah, just to be clear from what I said earlier, maybe that's what your husband and I are parting ways in our,
He would know.
I don't have that experience with you, so.
I put it on her authority, it's not me.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
I'm going to cabaret tonight with Orville Peck.
Amazing.
I know, I'm so excited. And anyway, I was getting this Queens of Archive dress was being delivered, and then I just looked, and it's being delivered to Emily Beebe's house in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow. That's not going to help you.
No, well, I think that the last time I ordered a dress from them, I obviously was staying with Emily.
Right. Well, what are you going to wear?
But I'm going to let her know. Hold on. There's a package being delivered to you on accident today.
She should wear it.
She should. She loves whenever she steals my dresses, she ends up loving them and wearing them all the time.
Yes. She had one at the holidays that was very cute. That she said was a Busy Phillips loaner.
Original.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, when I had this cardigan that I'm wearing right now, and I wore it to Natalie's birthday drinks, and a bunch of people were complimenting the cardigan, and I was like, I've worn this cardigan 1,000 times before. It's just having its day today. People are here for it today. And then she was shopping for a cardigan after because she was like, I think it's time. You're right. You were right to wear that cardigan. And then I think she said that you had a cardigan that she would really want. And I was like, oh, she did? Okay. Because I was like, I bet she'd give it to you if you asked.
Yeah, I gave it to her. She took it.
There you go.
She took it. Oh, she just texted back. Is it a creepy stuffed animal? Remember that? That was funny. No, it's a dress.
What was that stuffed animal that...
It was something that Cricket wanted and Mark ordered without telling me, and also didn't remember that he had ordered. And then it had no information at all, and it just showed up.
Yes, and it was the weirdest stuffed animal. What was it?
It was that little death guy, with the mask on. It looked like a penguin, but with a death mask on.
Oh my God. Wild.
Anyway, well, I don't know what I'm going to wear tonight. It's also gross out.
Yeah. It's been gross every day since I've been in New York.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, you weren't here for the one beautiful day.
I wasn't here for the one beautiful day.
Yeah, you really weren't. That was the Saturday before you got here, and then it was terrible.
And I don't have a coat or an umbrella because who packs those things? A responsible person, but not me. So I'm just like...
Well, I mean, definitely you can purchase an umbrella anywhere.
Yeah, but have I? Because every day I'm like, I'm going to purchase an umbrella, then it's not going to rain anymore. So then I don't do it.
Did you ask Matthew if there happens to be a little raincoat from QVC that you could borrow?
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is.
But you know me. I'm I'm only thinking of it at 10 o'clock after everybody's already gone home. And then I'm just like, whatever. I'll just walk home in the rain. It's fitting. It's a real Charlie Brown moment to walk to the subway in the rain, When you're just
I mean, do you feel like, is it romantic? Or are you feeling bad about yourself? Charlie Brown implies that you're like, meh, meh.
It's just I think not feeling bad, but just it's just fitting to walk in the rain and the day is done. And nothing says the day is over, getting onto the subway soaking wet, You're going home and getting in your pajamas and, well, I don't watch TV in my little apartment place because I was last week when I was watching White Lotus, the people next door banged on the wall. And I was like, oh my God, but I get it, apartment living.
No, I don't get it. That's weird. I'm sorry, I don't get it. That's really weird.
But anyway, so I've been trying
so loud in my house, and I do share walls, obviously, because it's New York.
Yeah.
No one's ever banged.
Well, that's good. I mean, maybe you have like thicker walls. I don't know what the deal is, but I try to be conscious of like what's going on. I'm like, oh, I heard a baby crying out in the hallway, and I'm like, that's weird because this is like a corporate business hotel, but maybe someone brought their baby to do corporate business. So maybe the White Lotus woke up that baby. I don't know. I'm trying to be conscious of it, but also,
dude, you know my story about when I had Birdie, when I had given birth to the bird.
Yeah.
And I mean, I lived in a home in Los Angeles with backyard and like space around it. And the woman who lived behind me at the time rented her guest house out to a DJ. And it was like he was like working on music all day long.
Yes.
And then like would stop in the evening.
Yes.
But it didn't matter because I had a newborn baby, and like Birdie's nursery basically like backed up, the backyard, and then on the other side of the fence was this guest house.
Right.
And he would play it so, like his music so loud, and it was just like, and would always wake her up. And it drove me insane, but never once did I think to just go over there and ask him to turn it down.
Oh my gosh. We had almost the exact same experience. Our co-op in Brooklyn, I mean, it wasn't like a yard situation. It was our direct next door neighbors were a couple who were like an electronica band. And they would play their music. They would start at like midnight and they would play their music out loud like that. And so, of course, because we had a new baby and I was working, we wrote a letter to, like, we did bang on the walls a couple times, but they couldn't hear us, It always puzzled me because I'm like, it's electronic music. Just wear headphones. Like, it'd be so easy just to wear headphones.
Truly.
But anyway, we wrote a letter to the board after they were not responsive to us saying, like, are they allowed to, like, practice their music at, like, midnight or whatever? Is there not quiet hours in this building? And then they responded. I just remember that I remember the first line of their response. It is with bitter irony that we respond to the complaint of our next door neighbors. And their response was that they heard our baby crying sometimes. And I was like, our baby's crying because he's exhausted. We're all exhausted. And
because you're playing techno music nonstop.
They were our enemies. Just our enemies for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then when 9/11 happened, I think they didn't have a TV, and like the guy part of the couple was at home. And so I think Matt invited him in to like watch our TV so that he could like know what was happening to our city. And then, a detente, a gentle agreement was reached that, you know.
9/11 really bringing people together.
Brought us together.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm in that weird booth you told me to be in last week.
Oh, you are?
You said, why
I mean,
don't you try the
it
booth?
sounds great.
It sounds better, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about walls that you can hear through because there's a scene in Dying for Sex.
Yes.
It's actually like a very important plot point in Dying for Sex.
Yes, that you can hear through the walls.
And I was thinking if I had ever lived in a place where I could hear people having sex, but I don't think I ever have, which seems crazy, but I just don't think I never have. I just know I never have.
That's pretty interesting. I don't think I ever have either, or like maybe we were the ones maybe nobody was having sex and we were.
I mean,
you know.
I have definitely been in a hotel,
Right. Yes.
and heard people through the walls having sex, but I've never had it happen in mine's own home.
Oh my gosh. My in-laws have this funny story about, I mean, it's not a big story. Just a story about how their neighbors were always fighting. And one day they thought the neighbors were about to murder each other. And then the husband said, "Why don't you go jump in a shit lake?" So that's a longtime family saying for all of us.
Why
passed
don't we?
down from the prior generation. Why don't you go jump in a shit lake?
Michelle Williams, we just brought up the fact that there's a plot point because we were talking about thin walls.
That's my cue.
Yeah, it happened organically, but then I was like, that is funny because I actually was thinking about the plot point in Dying for Sex of being able to hear your neighbor through the walls. Have you ever lived in an apartment where you could hear someone having sex, your neighbors having sex?
Not having sex, but did you come to my apartment on the Lower East Side that we called the Panic Room because it was so small?
Is it the one above the Chinese restaurant?
I wish it had been a restaurant.
Oh. It was just food. I thought you lived above a restaurant, but it just was food smells.
Yes. It smells.
In my head.
It was like a food processing thing downstairs.
Okay, that's what it was. I'm like, I swear, was it it was a restaurant? No, it was not. Food processing.
The apartment was so small. And the walls, it had clearly been like a slightly larger apartment. And then they put up a very thin, flimsy wall to make it 2 apartments. And so I didn't hear the person that I came to call my roommate, even though we didn't know each other or live together. But I just felt so close to this person. And I could hear their music. And one night we stayed up all night listening to, oh my God, what was the song? Her name is Aria and she
dances on the sand. Yeah.
Listening to it on repeat, just the same
God.
For 8 hours.
Oh my God.
What do you think was going on for that person?
A complete mental breakdown.
Whoa.
That's intense. New York living is wild.
Also, when you look back on it and you're so young then, you just think, oh, the best of times.
It was. I know.
My first apartment in New York was so small that when the show that I worked on went on location, we were doing the show from Los Angeles. And I was such a bumpkin that I didn't know how to use my hotel room key to open the hotel room door. And then our executive producer was staying across the hallway and he helped me get my door open. And when I saw how luxurious the hotel room was, I burst into tears and he was like, "What is wrong with you?" But I had just never done anything before. And then he gave me one of his fancy fruit baskets that someone had sent to his room. And he was like, "Don't cry about it."
You know what?
I really relate to that feeling. I really relate to that feeling so much. When we were doing Dawson, they had like some sort of a viewing party or something for one of the episodes. And it was in this like hotel room that was nicer than anything I had ever seen. And similarly, I think I like might have cried and they were like, "Okay, well, the party ends at 11, but like if you want to sleep here, you can."
Did you?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Obviously. Wait, that's amazing.
So, Michelle Williams, you are probably the most mentioned person on this podcast because we're often talking about our friends, what's going on with our friends, but I think you might hold the record for most mentions.
Well, Emily Beebe gets mentioned a lot because Caissie, you're friends with Emily now too in LA.
True.
And so there's a lot of stories where you're like, Emily and I went to a party this week. So I don't know, Michelle,
It's always been a competition between me and Emily. Let's lay it all out there.
That's so funny. Well, you've been on the podcast. Emily never, she's made a cameo, but you've been on the podcast 2 times officially, and I think you've made 2 official cameos because one time you called to talk about an incident that you were having, and you let us sort of share our half of the conversation, an incident with your car. And then another time, my favorite time, your voice was not heard at all, but you and Busy had lunch. And I feel like you guys had a couple of glasses of wine, and then you made some like on camera cameos that no one would ever see where you were just holding things up from Busy's kitchen, I think to roast a little bit.
We made a delicious lunch of saltines.
Yes.
And what was it?
Cheese? Like,
no, it was Triscuits.
it was Triscuits and string cheese?
It was so delicious.
It was so good.
So well with wine. It's like a really genius pairing.
It really was so good. And
That
little,
was-
like maybe little cheddar cheese, a little bit of cheddar cheese. I don't know. It was delicious.
You can cook, Busy. You can cook.
That's so funny. So, Michelle, you're just finishing so much. Well, I don't even know if you're finishing. I think you probably
do you have
still
more press or are
more
you pretty
press.
much done for Dying for Sex?
No, I have some more stuff coming, but it is what it is.
You're a pro. You're a pro. I just finished watching Dying for Sex yesterday, and wow, what an accomplishment. It's a really beautiful show, and it's so joyful and so sad, and I loved every minute of it. Love Jenny Slate. My old pal Rob Delaney is in it. Paula Pell's in it. Everyone's so great. Sissy Spacek isn't my friend, but I wish we were friends.
Yeah, she's the greatest. Well, they're all the greatest. I'm so glad you like it. Thank you. And I wanted to make this show so badly. And I was like, why do you want to make this so badly, Michelle? You're so weird. Then when all these great people also said that they wanted to make the show, I thought, maybe I'm onto something, because for Jenny and Jay and Rob and Sissy,
Jay Duplass. So
for all of those hitters to show up, I thought maybe this writing is as good as I believe it to be. And
also I remember before even anyone else was attached, you just really talking to you about it, and just the gravitational pull to doing essentially a love story about 2 best friends and about a woman overcoming her trauma and finding herself before she passes away.
well, it just reminded me so much of us. And
I know. And can I say something because I'm sure lots of people listening have already watched it, because I cannot even tell you, Michelle, like the amount of texts and DMs I'm getting about the show is hilarious. Like people are like, will you please, like people I don't know for sure. And then like everyone I know. I forwarded Michelle, my manager sent me when she finished binging the show over the weekend that she couldn't stop crying. And then she was just, do you know what she was doing? Why she sent me like some clip of an interview where Michelle mentions me, because she was going online and watching interviews of you and Jenny talking about the show, because she was so devastated having finished it that she wanted to like soothe herself with the 2 of you in real life being healthy. And like, isn't that cute though?
that's really sweet. Yes.
I know, she's really cute. But from my perspective, and I'm curious what you don't watch it though, so you haven't seen it really other than ADR. Michelle doesn't watch anything that she's in. We've talked about this before on this show.
I also don't do ADR to picture, so I don't.
Are you fucking kidding me? What?
No, I've taken it as far as a person.
Since when?
It's my thing.
That's a thing you can ask for?
Huge picture.
That's a thing she can ask for.
Well, for sure, Caissie. Let's not get it twisted. But like, wait, Michelle, how does that even work? They just have to sync you up?
They sync me up.
And do they play you the audio?
Yeah, yep. They play me the original, and I'm pretty good at ADR.
Yeah,
Like,
we're pros.
I enjoy it weirdly.
Me too.
So yeah, so I just replicate the sound of the line.
So I want to tell you that from my perspective, being someone who knows you so intimately and so well, that I would say to you that this is the most Michelle performance. This is the most you as Michelle that I've ever seen in a character you're playing.
Funny, because my husband said the opposite. He was like, "It's not you."
Really? Interesting.
You do things on the show. You make faces and you like look at Jenny, and maybe he just doesn't have, maybe we just have a different experience of each other in our relationship than he has with you.
Well, also, I get why a husband would. He's probably thinking you would never leave me in that moment.
And I wouldn't. So,
No.
Right.
No, but I think, but purely from like some of the like goofiness that Molly has and some of like, you do a few expressions that like I have definitely seen IRL to me, but that I feel like I've never seen you do on camera ever.
I mean, I wouldn't know because
you don't watch
You
it.
didn't look. You didn't look.
I don't think.
Here's what I will say is that I was so delighted by how funny you are in this. And it's like, it's some tough subject matter, obviously. Like that's the whole theme of the show. But you're so funny in it. And I wonder if people know how deeply, deeply funny you are, because you always have me laughing so hard. And I think like people think of you as this amazingly talented dramatic actress, which you are, but you're also really, really funny. So I was so happy that you got to be legit funny in this.
Thank you. That's so nice. I hope that I am legit funny in it, but it's my preferred mode of being. I'd rather laugh than cry.
I think we like to laugh while we're crying, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably true.
But you don't want to cry because
Because of the delicate under eye area?
Yes. I mean, obviously that.
Obviously.
I just love how you're like, I'm not going to do it.
No, I keep my crying on the inside, Busy.
Where does it go? Where do those backed up tears go?
I got to get out somewhere.
Well, no, I'm in a very lucky moment of my life right now where everything's okay. So the tears don't flow like they used to.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing. I look forward to it. I look forward to experiencing that. I think like you stay more hydrated probably.
Well, I am constantly hydrating
There you go.
by this vase that I drink out of.
You are drinking out of, it's like for the folks at home, is it like a farm milk bottle?
Like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a step up from like a rustic jam jar. Mhm.
And what are you drinking out of there?
You can tell that it's not completely clear, huh?
Uh-huh.
So much goes into the water. I don't know if you guys are like I'm easily affected by the notion of a powder.
We love a powder in the water.
The powder in the water. I put as many powders that I haven't had plain water in years.
Why
Oh my
have
God.
plain water?
It's concocting something in my water.
Always.
What's your favorite water recipe? Share it with the folks at home.
Well, this you can see is lemon.
Sure.
You can see that that's just a classic lemon water. But once a day, I do an electrolyte water.
Smart.
And I do a collagen powder water.
Smart.
Then, sometimes I like to put a little drop of silver in my water.
Okay.
Then
Saffron.
Saffron. That's great.
We have the saffron drops.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you can put some cloudy stuff that turns it into mud and is really hard to clean, but probably doing something really good for you. And now I've started putting things in my children's water. They too.
Okay.
Do they like it?
They don't know any different.
Michelle, you probably don't know this because you don't use social media, but do you know that on TikTok, there's like a whole side of TikTok that's water talk, and it's just people showing their water recipes?
I am missing out. I'm starting to think I'm missing out. Am I? What do you mean
No.
water?
It'll just be like, it's usually a woman, I'll say, and sometimes maybe there's like a religious affiliation there, but sometimes not. Maybe just like a healthy, hydration conscious woman. Or maybe she's on like some type of journey. And she'll just get out a cup and she'll be like, let's make my water for the day. And then she'll just go to town, like mad scientist style, showing everyone. And sometimes it's very healthy powders, all of which you just described, I think, like healthy sounding powders. But sometimes it's just straight up like brand collaboration powders of things that like you just wouldn't expect. And I feel like she'll be like, here's some like Pizza Hut powder that I'm putting in there. Here's some like Kool-Aid Man dust. Here, it's just, and they're basically making like a giant water mocktail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm missing out. I would love to have a midday mocktail recipe for my water.
Yeah, I mean, kind of same. I feel like I don't drink as much water in New York as I ever did in LA. I feel like I was constantly drinking, and I had like chlorophyll water. Remember my chlorophyll water kick?
Yes. I remember the bottles in your car.
That's the hard thing though now is that we don't have cars. And so it's hard to keep up your water consumption when you have to fit your water bottle into your purse and then carry it around for 8 hours. But Busy, I have a water bottle for you. I got this new water bottle that I really like. And if you just carry a small one around, because this has taken me, and I've lived here for a long time, this has taken me a while because my water bottles at home are very big. I like to drink a big water all at once. I don't like cups of water. I don't like sips of water. I like to just do my water. And I did that. It was a lot of water and I'm done with that for a while. So I would take these big water bottles out into New York City. First of all, I would leave them in places and forget them. And that was annoying, but I could never really get them in my purse. But now I have this water bottle. It's like a little 8-ounce bottle, but you bring it with you and you just refill it wherever you go. But it's not a bag to carry around.
Okay.
I have an alternate suggestion / business idea. If you would maybe consider investing in it, a wheeled water bottle.
Wheeled.
Giant, like 32.
And we're wheeling it behind us?
Yep. And then
WELED?
Yeah. A water bottle with
on
wheels. Yeah.
Oh, like a suitcase.
Yeah. A rolly water bottle. And then like maybe like a big flexible straw all the way up that like clips onto your collar or something.
What else can it do for me?
It's going to make you millions of dollars.
Because I believe in you. I need it to also, it can't be just a water bottle.
Yeah.
It needs to have other skills. It needs to do more than one thing. Just like we one thing. Come on.
Well, we'll get it into R&D, research and development, and see what else. I'm envisioning like, the oxygen tank that you're
that part very clearly.
Yeah.
When I did that, like that hiking retreat thing, the ranch. Do you remember when I did that?
You've been on a lot of retreats.
Michelle will remember.
Of course.
They insisted that we get camelbacks, which are these like bagged water bottles that you wear on your back, and it has like a hose that comes around to the front and then you can sip on it. And I have to say, for a minute, I was like, maybe this is what I should be doing in New York.
Just under your super chic outfit, and you look like Elon Musk with his bulletproof vest under his t-shirt.
Yeah, like no one can tell. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. You don't know.
I like that look for you. Can you get one that has like 2 straws? Like, how we used to have like the splitters in our beans?
So I could share with a friend? I think it's a really good idea.
I like this for us.
I do too.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, everyone in my house, everyone everywhere, but everyone in my house always has like something huge going on. This is definitely our busy season. No pun intended. No pun intended. But especially because I'm like back to work, it's just a lot.
Everybody's back to work, back to school. There's school breaks. It's a lot.
Breaks, not breaks. Breaks, not breaks. More people to eat more meals and home, and then they're gone. Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time for the grocery shopping and the healthy meals and the things and figuring it all out. I'm
the
not,
planning.
You know what? So it's a lot of planning, and it's not for her. But it is actually for Hungry Root, which is amazing. Hungry Root, guys, is like having your own personal shopper and nutritionist all wrapped into one. They take care of the weekly grocery shopping. They recommend healthy groceries and meals tailored to your taste, nutrition preferences, and health goals, and make it very easy to eat high-quality, nutritious food and achieve any diet or health goals. Like you could do anti-inflammatory, gut-friendly, gluten-free, dairy-free, high-protein, whatevs. Shopping and planning and cooking food can be simple and stress-free if you let it, but you gotta let someone help you out. And that is where Hungry Root comes in. Hungry Root's recipes can be made in just 15 minutes or less. With over 15,000 recipes shipped each week, there's literally something for every taste and nutrition preference. And they also have like very healthy grab-and-go things like smoothies and snacks and sweets and salad kits and even supplements. There's no high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, or preservatives in any of Hungry Root's foods, and they only source top-quality meat and seafood free of hormones and antibiotics. I love Hungry Root.
Me too.
Take advantage of our exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/busy and use code BUSY. That's hungryroot.com/busy, code BUSY, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/busy, code BUSY. Glow by Beam. I just had my Glow by Beam. We talk about waters today.
Water recipes. Glow by Beam is my favorite water recipe.
I love it
right now.
I really love it. I really love it. I had one. I was feeling really weird over the weekend, and then I had one of these Glow by Beams. Put it in my water, and I felt like 20 minutes later, I like came back to life. I really did.
Yeah, my hormones are just all over the place. No secret there. And I just feel like I need to do something to get them on the right track. I need to regulate those hormones.
We all do. Because when you're like
Yeah.
balanced in your hormones, you feel just different. You feel strong and clear-headed and in sync. And when they are out of whack, it can feel like everything is messed up. You just like fatigue, mood swings, weight fluctuations, breakouts, brain, like all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Your body is constantly changing. Your hormones shift, your energy fluctuates, stress takes a toll. Hormone imbalances can be the root cause of all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
And to thrive, we need to fuel our bodies with the right nutrients. So Glow by Beam is a once daily hormone balancing blend for women. It's had a huge impact. I love it. I want you to try it. It contains 18 comprehensive active ingredients that make a daily super powder, and that supports fluctuations in metabolism, immune function, collagen production. Come on. Plus it has vitamins and minerals, natural antioxidants, and those added electrolytes for that hydration boost. The blue raspberry is just delicious.
It tastes delicious. It is
know.
really, really good.
I put the blue raspberry in. I put my crushed ice. I shake that up, and it's really good. I love it so much. Over 40,000 women have trusted Glow by Beam to support their hormone health, and now it is your turn. Glow is essential to help bring you back to balance, because balance isn't a luxury, it's essential. For a limited time, Beam is offering our listeners 35% off Glow. Just visit shopbeam.com/busy. Use code BUSY at the checkout. That's shopbeam, BEAM.com/busy, and use code BUSY for your exclusive discount. You should try it. You should try it.
All right. Dying for sex. I do want to shout out Busy. I know you said on Instagram, our friend Keisha Zoller wrote one of the episodes. She was a writer on Busy Tonight, and we're so proud of her. She wrote episode 3. Love her. How are you feeling about this like tragic storyline?
I don't know about the I mean, she's gone through the tragic storylines and things. I'm like, how are you feeling about people seeing you masturbate like
Oh, that's
on camera?
That's a better question. Yeah.
I mean, I've said it before, but it's not like I'll say it again, like that's not my cum face. That's
Yeah, just to be clear from what I said earlier, that's probably maybe that's what your husband and I are parting ways in our, I don't have that experience
He
with
would
you.
know.
So
Yeah.
he would probably, he's like, it's not you. This is not, I don't see you in it at all. Because he'd see.
on good authority, it's not me.
Right, exactly. My feeling about why it's the most to you is like some of the looks that you give Jenny in some of the scenes. I'm like, you have given me those looks.
That I believe.
And I've never seen that on cam before. Not in Maryland. You weren't giving those looks in Maryland.
No, but what I said is really true. It really reminded me of us. Like when I read the script, I was like, oh, I can so imagine. Like, of course, like I would do the same thing this happened to me at a time in my life when I wasn't married to my husband. I would totally stop whatever I was doing and whoever I was doing it with, and I would turn to you and would say, like, I want to die with you. And it just spoke to me so beautifully of how much I love you and how much we allow each other to be ourselves and really welcome it, in fact, and ask for it and all parts.
Well, you don't get all this without the trauma.
I'm gonna live forever.
I'm gonna learn how to fly high.
I was really moved by how much it spoke to the responsibility of really being someone's real best friend in life. We were just talking about this last week about like friend breakups and how like people can sometimes be kind of glib about it. And we've talked about it a lot about how we put so much, we tend to put a lot of work into our romantic relationships without always paying much attention to how much work we put into our friendships, which obviously are so important. You're saying you would do this in real life. Like this
I think some people.
Some people, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always, I've said this before too, but I'm like always amazed to be like, you have so many best friends. Like, there are so many, but it's because you do so much work on behalf of your friendships. Like, you really show for all of the times, the good and the very bad. And that is actually a really rare quality.
That seems weird to me, but I think you're right. It must be because people do have a tendency to think it's like even that our friendship is rare. I'm like, why? God, you didn't watch White Lotus, Michelle.
No, I'm missing out on so much. TikTok.
I know. But the season finale was last night, and like Carrie Coon, I might send you the monologue just so you can watch it. She like has this monologue at the end that kind of like ties up their storyline a little bit, and like it's so beautiful and so relatable, and like, and it's really about like long-term friendship and knowing people through it all and holding on to that. And I don't know, I've been thinking a lot about intimacy recently, and then watching the show, which I'm not finished with the show because I had to talk to my therapist about it today before I decided if I was going to finish it or not. Because obviously, like, given what I went through with Kate, I just was like really struggling with if I wanted to, because there's so much relatable stuff in the show and it's so real. And if you have lost someone to an illness that you love very dearly, like, and you watch this show, you'll understand, like, it's there. Like, you guys really nailed it, and the caretaking part of it and what it means to show up for someone and what it means for your own life as the person who's not sick. It's really a lot. My therapist and I had a big talk about it today, and she was like, I actually really think you should finish the show because Michelle isn't dead. And she's healthy and she's got her kids, and you go to her house and it might be really cathartic to watch and have that. She's like, because getting out all the grief is always a good idea, which I thought was a good point. But anyway, I've been thinking a lot about intimacy.
There's two heroes in this journey. Like there's the person who faces their illness, and there's the person, oh, now I am going to cry. There's the person who stands by them and holds their hand in the darkness. And that's what you did. That's who you are. Like, and you could see, because I think sometimes what screens can really do is we get to understand like a little bit more about ourselves in relationship to these characters. And, you know, if there's a version of watching this show where, you know, as the character, as the character of Nikki unfolds and her drama is played out, her journey is heroic. Her commitment to her selfless commitment to her friend, her ability to use this as a portal into her own life to clarify her journey. And if you could use that moment to see the profound beauty of what you gave to your best friend, maybe there's some value in watching it for that. Not a moment of your selfless sacrifice is lost on you. And that when you tell your story, like, can we put that like on page 1? I didn't cry anymore.
I know. You got to watch out for that delicate skin.
She's crying and she's going to ruin her eyes.
I'm trying to gouache all my lines off my face while I'm crying.
You move me to pieces.
Oh, you move me too, obviously. I just think that yeah, Caissie, more to your point about this idea of we're all so much of our conditioning, especially as women, especially women of a certain age, and generation, has been to look for that there's one type of real intimacy that fills you. Yes. And the fact of the matter is I definitely have had that intimacy, and the real intimacy that continues and sustains and sticks with me and gets me through it all is the intimacy that I have with Michelle and Emily and Kate still, and you, Caissie, and my sister and Jen and all of these women that are there and are in me and are a part of me. Chrissy B.
I was so moved by Jenny's character because if you haven't watched it yet, you'll see, and there's a lot that's familiar there with Love. She's an ADD, disorganized.
Well, right. I mean, I also very relate to the character, to the way the character
exactly free spirit, who I think people don't give a lot of credit or have high expectations for. And Michelle, your character just needs her friend there. But I was so moved by how much she learned the job of being the friend that you needed in that moment. And it just proves that, we always tell each other, you can do anything. You can do anything you want to do. You can do anything you dream of. And here's this thing that nobody dreamed of, and it's not something that she wanted to do, but she did want to do it. She was the only person for the job, and she learned the job, and it was so moving because it makes you think who would learn this job for me? Who would be able to figure out navigating the Byzantine insurance healthcare system. And she fucked up a lot of times along the way because, she was training for this big, really important job that she was maybe underqualified for at the beginning. But your character didn't care because she just wanted her friend there. It was really, really moving. Yeah, now I'm getting teary-eyed.
Yeah, no, and then I just think, what do you do with all of that knowledge that you build, all that expertise that you gain when you caretake, and then like that person has gone on to a different plane of existence and no longer needs your caretaking. And like, what do you do with that skill you never really hoped that you would have, but you've learned it, and now it's sort of obsolete and irrelevant, but you have all this superpower in you. Which is why I'm glad that the show ends the way that it does.
I mean, I think it's so clear to me that it transformed her as a person, and there's a little bit of what she did for you is going to be part of who she is every day going forward. And Jenny Slate she's also such a beautiful, funny actor. I definitely ugly cried. Under Eyes Be Damned. And I sent Paula Pell a message right away because I also thought she was so perfect for her role at the end.
That was like very special for me when that all came together and you two got to be together because she's like my soul sister too, and like I just was so glad.
Yeah, I really felt like you were there. Like it really very much made your presence come alive in that room for me too, knowing how much you guys love each other, and then getting to glimpse, oh, that's who she's been talking about. That's who Paula is. I understand.
Oh my gosh. But I just don't even understand, I don't understand how you even do it. That's what I want to ask. Like, how did you even do it? How did you even wrap your head around, like, this thing that we all fear? Two things that we all fear, actually, like being honest about who we are sexually, and then, like, against a ticking clock of, like, fearing death. How do you even, like, do that?
I feel like my work is like a place where I can safely explore the things that are scary for me in my life. And what I always say is that nothing bad ever happens between action and cut. They aren't going to stop a take to come in and give you bad news. The phone isn't going to ring. The world is sort of kept at a little bit of a distance between action and cut. So I had this realization that nothing bad could really happen to me there. And so it's a place where I can go and become completely free.
You did it.
Well, and also, I mean, did you listen? You listened to the podcast, right?
Oh my God, obsessively. I listened to it twice.
Yeah.
And it just meant so much to me, and it totally undid me. And I just didn't know why. I mean, well, obviously, it's you and me. Like, it's our best friendship. It's all of those things that I relate so much to. And I just thought it was like a beautiful commemoration of this woman's spirit, these women's spirits, and the celebration of their friendship. And like we could build a little altar and light a candle and say the names of these two real women who really loved each other like this, who really supported each other like this. And Molly, who bravely insisted that she experience whatever pleasure could be found in whatever corner amidst this rigorous and painful cancer treatment.
Yeah.
I find her insistence on seeking pleasure somewhere so inspiring, and doing it
pleasure through the pain, like, is real, and through, like, this is an extreme, obviously, example of it, but it's like also such an incredible reminder that even in our darkest moments, you have to seek out the pleasure and the joy. You just have, that's what life is.
Yes, you sort of have to. You have to have this unwavering commitment to it, and you have to remember to do it. You know, that's what I find so impressive and so hard. It's one thing to do it for a day. It's another thing to really commit to the idea and practice it and continue to live it out. Yeah, and seek it and look for it. Train your eye for it. You know, she says. I'm like, it's so much harder to do. And yet this woman did it, and making a show about her and about them, it's just honoring her spirit.
Element. Talk about water. Honey, we're just talking about water today. This is our water show. We're real water girlies now.
It's important. We're mostly
is.
water.
We are mostly. I was going to say, well, we were doing the show. I have my water here, my big cup, and this has Element in it right now. This is an Element water.
I actually need to go shop your cabinet for some Element because I'm running out and I need to place an order and I need to bridge the gap between when my order comes.
Yeah, I'll bring it over to you.
Thank you.
I think that's reasonable.
I put a whole bunch in my suitcase to bring with me, and then I've been sharing it and also hitting the Element kind of hard because I just want to stay hydrated, and travel really wrings
Takes
it out of
you.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Element, as you've heard us talk about it, is a very tasty electrolyte drink mix. It's got everything you need, nothing you don't. Lots of salt, no sugar. It contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. No junk, no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no BS. It's formulated to help anyone, everyone, with their electrolyte needs. It's perfectly suited if you are keto or low carb or paleo or whatever you are. They're like, we got you. But really, electrolytes do so much for us. Headaches, muscle soreness. Like if you work out at all, I highly recommend putting an electrolyte into your rotation.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend that electrolyte be Element. When you sweat, the primary electrolyte you lose is sodium. That's a big deal. Anyway, Element's used by everyone from the NBA and NFL and NHL players and then just me and Caissie. And we love it. Right now, Element is offering you, our listener, a free sample pack with any drink mix purchase. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any Element drink mix purchase. It's great. It's a great way to try all 8 flavors. You can share Element with a salty friend. Why don't you go get yours at drinkelement.com/best. This deal only available through our link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/best. That's drinkelement.com/best. Try it totally risk-free. If you don't like it, you can share with a salty friend. They'll give you your money back. No questions asked. You have nothing to lose. Listen, guys, this is like an ad that I'm like, at this point in our lives together, as listeners of this podcast, if you have not gotten yourself the Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara from Thrive Cosmetics, what are you doing here?
We don't know what to tell you.
Why are you still listening to my podcast? You're not my friend. It's a deal breaker for our friendship, guys. I'm not even kidding you. You need to get this mascara. You need to get the Brilliant Eye Brightener.
All of the lip products.
You need to get all of the lip products because you're also like, if you've ever reached out to me via Insta and asked me what I'm wearing on my lips or my eyes, this is it. It's Thrive Cosmetics. Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara, Brilliant Eye Brightener, all of the lip products. Honey, that red you love, that's Thrive Cosmetics. And I don't even need to talk to you about the mascara. The mascara is a game changer for a million reasons, a million. But I am a person who has tried every smudge-free mascara under the sun in my career. And my career is wearing makeup. Part of my job is wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And I never, all of the ones that people are like, this is definitely not going to, you need a jackhammer to take it off of your eyelashes. And that by lunchtime on any given show that I would be on, underneath my eyes, I would look like a raccoon.
Right.
And that's just how my lashes are. It's just how my eyes are, whatever. Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. It's a flake-free tubing formula, but it's the first time I've ever had a mascara that not only dramatically makes my lashes look like, I don't know, like the the best they have ever looked ever.
Yeah.
But also it's easy to take off. I'm not like ripping my eyelashes off at the end of the night because I'm like trying to get this stuff that's like stuck to my eyes off.
Right.
It like just sort of rolls off with warm water. But when I tell you I wear it from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and there is not nary an indicator under my eyes of any of it going anywhere other than just staying put on my lashes, it's actually a magic trick. And I don't understand it.
Yeah, it just
It doesn't
doesn't
move.
smudge.
It doesn't smudge.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Okay. So just get into it. Also the Infinity waterproof eyeliner, which I love when I'm
Perfect.
ready for an eyeliner.
Right.
It's just a very fancy look for me. I think you guys need to get on board because I know you're our friends and I know that you care about things like the fact that Thrive Cosmetics gives back to causes that we care about, that they make clean, skin-loving ingredients, that they are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free products. I know you care about these things, but the biggest thing that you should care about is just how good the products are. So try your new trusty favorites with an exclusive set for you, our listeners. New customers can get the Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara and a mini size Brilliant Eye Brightener at a special set price with free shipping, available at thrivecosmetics.com/best, or save more with 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/best. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/best for 20% off your first order.
But now can we talk about how much you know everything about cosmetic procedures, you two?
The two of us?
Yeah.
Well, I send Michelle nonstop Instagram things. This is how she knows about everything. Like, I'm like, we're planning our old age.
It makes me laugh so hard because I have friends that send me like facelift videos and stuff too.
I'm so into the deep plane facelifts. I sent her one yesterday that was like this 66-year-old woman, like, you can't believe it.
Do you
And
guys
you just wrote back, wow, it's amazing. I'm like, I guess we're going to have to go to Milwaukee. You're like, we're not going to Milwaukee, Busy, but okay.
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm probably going to be like wheeling my face behind me in that water bottle. Invention. In 20 years, you're going to be able to just like take this thing on and off, give it a rest, give it a break. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
No, I would just say, I think that you and I have been deeply committed to skincare and like regular maintenance of skincare, like facials. And you're a sunscreen, you're a giant hat person, like Gillian Jacobs. I think of you and Gillian Jacobs with giant hats, and like, never will that face see sun.
No,
she doesn't see it.
I miss it.
You miss the sun?
Yeah, I remember it from when we lived in Wilmington.
We used to love the sun.
Not afraid of the sun.
Not afraid.
Nor were we afraid of carbohydrates.
No.
We lived our lives.
We lived our lives. We didn't know. We didn't have TikTok. We didn't.
We put on sunscreen. Did we? Did we wear sunscreen?
I think so. Yes.
Look, that's good to hear.
I've always been pretty sunscreen aware because of growing up in Arizona and having like moles on my skin.
Yeah.
As Michelle examines her own moles on her skin that you guys can't see right now.
Yeah, she's, what's that bump?
Wait, who wrote the holding Nikki's boob part? Was that written or did you pitch it?
No, it was already in it. And I was like, oh my God.
It's so real.
It's so real.
It's so real.
I know. I know. I have to do it for us.
I know. It's really funny.
You
It made
guys
me laugh
hold
so
each
hard.
other's boobs?
Well, just kind of like we've always been, if like Michelle and I hold our own boobs, we're like boob holders.
Understood.
I've seen, I mean, we do it. It's like cozy. It's comforting.
Sure.
It's something needed comfort.
Exactly.
I've never held a friend's boobs, but I do know anyone that I know who has had breast implants. They're always really okay with inviting you to touch them to see what they feel like. And I always decline, but maybe I shouldn't have.
Hold a boob. It might comfort you.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not a boob holder, but maybe I should have tried harder. Maybe I could still add it.
It's not too late.
I could go right out here in the office and hold someone's boob, probably
There are
not.
many things that you might enjoy, but you just didn't even know that they'd been invented. Like you didn't know boob holding was a thing. Now you know.
Boob holding, not for sexual pleasure, but for comfort.
Yeah. I get it.
I'm just
It's
saying.
like when cats make biscuits on a blanket, similar.
There you go.
It probably
exactly the
releases
same.
some hormone that it isn't even coursing through my body right now.
Do you think about Matilda watching this show? Does Matilda watch anything that is she like Birdie and she's like not interested? I do know she watched Girls Five Eva and loved it because she told me.
We watched Girls Five
I
Eva
know, it's
together.
true. It's true.
Loved it. But, I will, what I do think about is that working is what I do when I'm not with my children. And that it leaves some kind of a record. And if they want to, they can pick it up and they can know a little bit more about me and what I was interested in or working on or trying to get better at or and so it is, I don't know, it's almost like breadcrumbs. Sometimes I think of it as like breadcrumbs that I'm leaving for them if they ever want to follow the trail. But if they want me to just keep making them dinner and reading them stories and fixing their toys, I'm also happy to just do that. But
Yes. Well, obvi.
if they want this other thing, they can have it.
I mean, it's so interesting because I feel like they should, and yet my kids have not yet wanted it, but like they can literally see both of us grow up.
Totally. How weird is that? They can literally watch us grow up in the same way that we've watched them grow up. It's so weird when you think about it like that. But I think also like that's to come. They've got their whole lives to watch us grow up.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Were you super interested in what your parents did when you were a kid? Like, or did you know a lot about it?
But like, I just don't think it's the same. Like, I think if you had like an actual piece of media that you could watch of your parents, my parents didn't have home videos.
Yeah.
No one had in my family, no one had like a Super 8 or anything. So there's no like video of my parents, but I 100% would have loved to have watched like videos of my parents.
Well, it's like the way that you feel when you look at a picture, just a simple picture of your
Yes.
it's in black and white, and you just keep staring at it like as though it's going to start talking back to you and telling you by knowing them, are you going to know like a little bit more about yourself? Like what can be revealed that's going to be revelatory on your journey if you understand something about your parents a little bit more. So I remember like seeing pictures of my mom.
Yeah.
I remember being a young person and then seeing pictures of my mom when she was young and just not knowing how to square up the two facts,
Right.
Very young woman. And then my mom. So similarly, like if I could watch them move through time and space, I think I would be intrigued.
I was super obsessed with my parents' high school yearbooks because I think like it taught me so much about the time and space that they existed in. But all that being said, like I probably looked through it every day at a certain point in my life, but I never said anything I never asked any questions or anything. I just painted my own picture.
Isn't that what we all do with our parents?
That is, but also as we should, because they're like handing us the baton in the relay race.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So funny. I I feel like knowing too much what your parents do is maybe like when you see your teacher in the grocery store and you're like, oh my God, this is so weird.
That's true.
All right, Lovey. We should let you go because you probably have like 47 billion things that you need to do and
like maybe you want to rest.
Things.
I have more waters to make.
You have more waters to make? Is
What's
that a new water? Do you have a fresh
or is that
water?
a juice?
Juice.
It's a juice.
Do you have a juicer or do you just get them?
No, I'm pretty passionate about using my Vitamix.
Love a Vitamix.
Wait, you can make juice in a Vitamix?
You can make juice in a Vitamix and then you strain it through a nut milk bag. And I have to say, it has a similar appeal to holding a boob. You're working the nut milk bag and it has this gentle release and
Heck yeah.
And it's very calming. I really like it. Yeah, you can mix everything up in the Vitamix and then strain it through a nut milk bag. And then you just have one less appliance that's on your countertop. And I have just always had a hard time with juicers, cleaning them, reassembling them, getting them.
Yes, they're gross.
There's something about me that's can't do it. And the Vitamix is like a mechanism that I understand. And it pulverizes all the stuff that I put in there in, I don't know, less than 2 minutes. And then I strain it. And it's really great.
It's simple. It's powerful.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad that we got, honestly, this is what I needed from
this
this
is like the big headline. Yes.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
So I'm
Want the recipe? Yes. I make a green juice that I think tastes like whole milk. It is so sweet, smooth, and creamy.
Please tell.
Spinach, celery. It's the fennel that does all the hard work. The fennel cuts all of the super healthy stuff. You don't even have to add an apple. The fennel is what makes it sweet.
Spinach, cucumber, celery, fennel.
And then you can dress it up if you want with some herbs.
Okay.
You could put some mint in there if you had the time, but just those 4 things, because the cucumber creates like all the water.
Yeah.
Spinach is what gives you the super green superfood health. Celery also so good for you. And then the fennel just disguises everything. I mean, it's also good for you, but I'm telling you, come over to my house, close your eyes, and you're just going to think you're drinking whole milk.
Wow.
Weird.
Well, I'm in.
Yeah.
And now I'm also Googling nut milk bags. Because obviously.
I have 2 things I need to give you. I need to give you this little water bottle, this little 8-ounce water bottle. It's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And has like a very satisfying pour into your mouth. And the nut milk bag.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really broadened our horizons. I can't wait to get back to my Vitamix.
And, you can buy a refurbished, because they're so expensive, but you can buy a refurbished Vitamix. That's also a possibility.
Yeah, that's really good. My son had stolen ours for a really long time, and I really begged to get it back from him. But refurbished, that's a good, I wish you had mentioned that, because then we all could have had Vitamixes and been happy.
Well, you guys know the story about how Emily once went on a date with a guy and then he stole her Vitamix.
God. Still a Vitamix. I have to know.
She went on this was a long time ago. She went on a date with this guy. And then during the date, they were talking about making soup or something like that. And she was like, oh, well, I just use my Vitamix to make soup and it's super easy and I love it. And, da, 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 da. And he's like, oh, yeah, I've been thinking that maybe I should invest in one of those, but they're so expensive and I just don't know. So I wish that there was a way I could just try one out and then not. And she, of course, this is a first date.
You fell for it.
And she was like, well, you can borrow mine. And they went back to her apartment and he borrowed her Vitamix. And then we have to check in on how long it took before she was like, really, dude, give me back my fucking I need it back. But she did eventually, at my insistence, she got very firm.
Good.
And
it's a good scam.
She did get the Vitamix back.
And then change your phone number. I mean, maybe this is where they get those refurbished Vitamixes that they sell. It's this.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is it. This is, oh my God. This is a really funny.
We are onto something. I think we just caught him.
You cracked
He's
the
like,
case.
it's like the Tindler swindler, but instead of like hundreds of thousands of dollars in private planes, he's literally just like one Vitamix at a time.
Well, everyone is now forewarned.
do not loan your Vitamix to
Vitamix.
No.
No. I can barely like lift mine off the counter.
He's also so cute and trusting of Emily.
Of course.
I would have done the same thing.
I mean, for sure, me too.
Yeah.
Truly.
I can't
probably,
believe
honestly,
for Vitamixes for this long.
I know. I was going to say, I probably have given a boyfriend a Vitamix at some point. Like, I probably have done
Definitely
that.
given somebody about, yeah, definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
literally texting Shane right now, do you think you can go to the health food grocery store and see if they have and get fennel?
Mm-hmm. So I would say it's like a few handfuls of spinach, a couple of those really big cucumbers, 3-4 celery. You can sort of experiment with the celery, and a whole thing of fennel, and let me know how it goes.
Wow. I'm excited. And a nut milk bag. Don't forget to put a nut milk bag on the health food store list.
Wait, that's what I'm saying right now.
All right, good.
I said in a nut milk bag. And there's going to be no way that she's going to know what the hell I'm talking about. And she's going to come back with a bag full of nuts. I'm sending her a picture. What do you got going on the rest of the day, honey? Are you making dinner? What are you making for dinner?
I just made something last night that I felt so good about. Do you know the cookbook author and chef, Mina Stone?
Yes.
I have her new cookbook. And last night I made a pasta and 2 salads. And it turned out so well. And they were so healthy.
What was the pasta?
It's a lemon nut pesto pasta. The whole meal was vegan, would you believe? And it was delicious. My husband was like, this salad is so good. I love this salad.
What was the salad?
The salad was there are 2 salads. There was a fennel salad and then there was a kale salad.
Honey, you're in a fennel state of mind.
A fennel hole.
I'm here on behalf of fennel.
Mm-hmm.
This is being brought to you by fennel. You know, it really is great, though. You can give it to babies as a teether. Okay. I'm not actually sure what's inside my brain right now. It's just like a giant fennel bulb. I've been taken over by fennel.
It's like those parasites that like go into whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're controlling you.
They're controlling the fennel's controlling Michelle at this point.
There's a cry for help. And
I look forward to your lifestyle show.
oh, wow. What would I call it?
Just fennel.
Fennel pun.
Love a pun.
Fennel. I don't know. I need to work on it. Okay, I don't have anything. It's not coming. So I need to go take this into the workshop. Fennel.
Yeah. We'll think about it.
Fennel.
Fennel with friends. Fennel. Fun.
Tunnel. Funnel the fennel. Okay.
Fennel of love.
It's not getting better.
It's not getting better. It's
not getting better.
We'll think of it. 5 minutes after this is over.
Okay, B, let me know when you can come over for dinner, okay?
Yes, my love. This week. I can do it this week.
Great.
Maybe tomorrow.
Fennel, okay.
Friends with fennel.
Friends with fennel.
Friends with fennel.
Please invite me back for more green juice recipes.
I think we're gonna have to throw this up on our Substack. I'm literally on it. She's going right now. Because I had been debating buying a juicer. And I was like, I need to ask Michelle because I can't buy these $12 juices, guys.
No.
It's not in the budget.
Not in this economy.
Not with the tariffs coming. Honey, with the tariffs, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Do you ever throw an avocado in there?
No.
No. But we could.
You certainly could.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, try it and let me know.
I'm going to. Because I just have so many avocados right now that I need to use.
Just can't let that go to waste.
No.
No. But don't get me started talking about avocados. I have to just stop reeling me in.
That's a whole other episode.
It is. It truly is.
A food episode.
You really could. You could do your own cookbook if you wanted. You really could. You're the best. You're so good and you're so committed to it.
No, no.
Yes. Take it.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. That's a really nice thing that you said to me. I'm glad you like it.
You're really thoughtful about the meals that you cook for your family. You're not an ordering in mom. You're like a real cooker.
Yeah, but when I just like relax and make grilled cheese, that's when they love me the most.
Of course. But that's all they want. They just want mac and cheese or grilled cheese. Yeah, but that's okay. We gotta hold both.
Look, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Gotta hold both, gotta hold boobs.
That's a great episode title.
All right, well, now it's time to go make lunch. Okay.
All right, I love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you
Okay,
so
love you,
much,
bye.
Michelle. Congrats. Bye.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. Even getting older kids to take vitamins can sometimes just be a whole thing.
Yeah, because kids don't want to do anything that we're asking them to do normally.
No, never.
At any age.
Never. But it's crazy because here's the thing. Most kids don't eat like all of the things that are giving them all of the nutrients and, all of the things that they need. There are like gaps in most kids' diets, you know?
Yeah.
And
well up through teenagerdom.
Yeah, well up through currently. Hi, how you doing? Most kids' vitamins are filled with at least 5 grams of sugar, and then they have like a lot of gummy junk that gets stuck in their teeth, and then that creates other issues, and there's chemicals, and it's just not great. 2 teaspoons of sugar per vitamin? No. Haya was like, we see this and we're not okay with it. So Haya was created by a pediatrician, approved, and it is like a super-powered, chewable vitamin formulated with the help of nutritional experts. Haya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and vegetables, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamins D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more. It's non-GMO, it's vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, and everything else free that you can imagine. It's designed for kids of all ages and sent straight to your door. So parents, you have one less thing to worry about. Everybody loves it. It comes with a little bottle. The packaging is better for the environment because they have a reusable bottle. You just pop the guys in there. The kids can decorate the bottle with the stickers. Anyway, you're looking for your new kids' vitamin. This is it. We've worked out a special deal with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim the deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/busy. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to hayahealth.com/busy and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. And she's gone.
She did it. She did a good job with she always says that she's not great with technology, but I think she did a good job exiting the Zoom.
She doesn't have, because she doesn't use apps so much.
Yeah.
And occasionally, like, we'll have plans to meet somewhere, and then she'll text me, like, where am I going? And I'm like, well, we can just look that up.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
But but she's not great at that.
And she said last time we talked to her, she had a dumb phone, right? Like it just didn't do anything special.
Yeah, I mean, she does. She has like an older version.
Which it's rude to call her phone dumb. I don't know if, it just doesn't do anything fancy.
I think it does. I think it has
Okay.
the capability.
Okay.
I think she doesn't have it
She
do
doesn't.
anything
Okay,
fancy.
okay. All
Yeah.
right.
She's not like one of those people who's like, I'm only on a flip phone. She's like, has
Right.
a phone that's
Yeah.
like a smartphone, but she doesn't put the brains into it.
She's
she
using
doesn't-
them
I bet you-
elsewhere.
Like, I don't even know. I should have asked her. I don't know if she knows what Chat GPT is.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't
Well-
know if she does. I mean, she might. She may.
Yeah.
Tommy's influence in her life has really helped me a lot in terms of like what she's aware of because he definitely like fills her in
Yeah, for sure.
on things. Yeah.
Yeah. She's just such a delight. She's so kind and
Funny.
so funny.
Like been 20. Oh my God.
25 years, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. It's 25 years. And I'm going to cry.
Aww.
It's such a long time.
Yeah. A lifetime.
Okay. Do you want to hear something crazy?
Yes. Always.
So Birdie, after Margaret Qualley basically was like, Jack and I were watching you during the opening of Romeo and Juliet, like watching your face. Remember this story? At the after party?
Yeah.
And then Birdie was like, I think maybe I do want to be an actress. And I was like, ugh, of course you do. Obviously. Yes, obviously you want to be an actress. So then she's like been kind of like on this thing now where she's like, I think I'm realizing now that this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then she's like, they're doing a new Hunger Games movie and there's going to be so many tributes. I'm not saying I have to be like a main character. I'm just saying, could I audition for one of, whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, you don't have an agent or manager or whatever. But let me like talk. She's just in this place. And I just remember it. So she's so funny because I think she tries really hard to, in some ways, to assert that she is not like me.
Sure.
And I totally, totally understand. And then what is always gives me like a little giggle is when she's like down to the month of the age that I was saying the same things that I've said. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like junior year in high school, I was like, I have to get an agent right now.
Right.
This is when I have to do it. Da 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 da. And like, just so that you listening at home, she doesn't know these things about me. Like, she doesn't know that it was when I was a junior in high school.
Right.
Like, she's a junior in high school, and I was exactly her age and whatever.
Right.
But so I was kind of like, well, okay, she's going to be in LA with her dad for her. Like, there's so many breaks at boarding school. Jesus. It's like she's out of school so much. Anyway. But so she's going to be in LA with her dad. And I was like, maybe, if she's going to try to do, she'll need headshots. That's like, you do have to have headshots, right? Which is also hilarious because I said this to Mark and he's like, do people need headshots? And I was like, what? Yes. Mark, what? What are you talking about? Of course they do. Okay. So anyway, Shannon Woodward was just in LA and we were texting while she was there. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I'm getting new headshots right now. And I was like, oh, funny. I was just talking about this because I think Birdie wants to get headshots or I need to get Birdie some headshots because she wants to like, I don't know, see whatever, take meetings, see what's going to happen, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, I went to Theo and Juliet. And I was like, truly? They've taken, until I moved to New York and like Michael Kushner took some headshots for me like 2-3 years ago for me to use like for things. Every like they took my first headshots when I was 18. 18.
Oh,
Theo and
cool.
Juliet. So, and Shannon's like, yeah, they're amazing. And like, they're just still the best. They take the best headshot, whatever. So I reached out to them and Juliet and I were like, got on the phone yesterday. And so when Birdie's there for spring break, she's going to like go in and get her headshots taken. Like literally almost the exact same age.
Oh my
Isn't that
gosh.
crazy.
That's crazy.
I know. It is crazy.
Aw.
And it's so cute. And I'm like, it's so funny. So yeah, she's gonna go get her little headshots taken, and then we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. It's also just I'm like I said, like I remember being that age in high school, knowing this is what I wanted to do with my life, begging my mom like to let me get an agent.
Yeah.
I got this like local manager. You guys can read this whole story in my book. So I don't need to retell it right now. But
Right.
the point is, I know that like sort of feeling of antsiness when you're a kid like that, like how I was and how I do think she is too. And I mean, I realized that I could definitely go one of two ways here on this journey with her.
Sure. Yeah.
And I know that a lot of like parents who are actors in the industry, whatever, have feelings about not wanting their kids to be in this industry for a myriad of reasons.
Sure.
And I really just continually feel like so grateful that I had parents that even though they didn't know anything from Hollywood or whatever,
Right.
that they were just like very encouraging and supportive of me doing a thing that I felt really strongly about that was like my dream.
Right.
And like, why would I not afford that same thing to my kid?
Right.
Like, why would I like why would I tell my child, no, that's not an option for you? When it's like, what if my parents had done that to me? Do you know what I mean? Like how we're,
Yeah. I mean, I think you are so lucky to have supportive parents. I know, not everybody does, but it would also be like after having supportive parents, it would be such a hard thing to say like, no, I think you're doing the right thing. You're not going to be a momager or something. You're going to like quietly support from the side and do what you can to like let her have her own experience. I think that's so great.
It's also like there's no guarantees. It's all hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's not like.
And she could change her mind.
And she could totally change her mind and like bless,
Yeah.
And lots of
Yeah.
people do. Lots
Yeah.
of people do lots of things, But I just think it's really cute.
That is cute. Oh, good for her.
I know.
I hope
and
she
I
has
love her
fun.
like it was like how I was too. Like I was just like, I have to audition for the Clueless TV show that they're making.
Right.
You know? And she's like, I have to audition for the Hunger Games movie. I could be any kind of tribute. Okay. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. Let's just play it by ear. Let's see what they're doing.
Right. Right.
But,
That's so cool. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Should we say what we're doing our best at?
Totally.
Who wants to go first? I don't.
Do you not feel?
I gotta think. What am I? I mean, I'm just here. I'm in New York. We're doing the QVC show. It kind of like just takes over my life when I'm here. Not in a bad way. Just it's the only thing I really have going on. I did go. You know what? I'm gonna change tacks a little here.
Funny because this ties into what I'm doing my best at this week. Okay, go on.
I wanted to go see, and I might have talked about this last week. I wanted to go see Bell Works, the location where some of Severance is shot, while I was here on the East Coast, and I was figuring I would take a train out to New Jersey to this location because it's like a mid-century iconic building, and so I wanted to see it and like take some pictures to share with my son Eli because he's interested in that kind of thing too. It's just this really beautiful building. And I've really been thinking so much about how this was like a telephone company and how when this building was built, all a telephone company cared about is like putting up telephone poles throughout the United States and having a kick-ass cool building. It was like the height of
So funny.
And it still very much is that building. Now it's kind of like mixed use, like office buildings and like kind of like a mall on the lower level, but the building truly kicks ass. Anyway, coincidentally, I was invited through the Writers Guild to go to this Severance FYC, which means for your consideration event for like the Emmy Awards, for the award shows. And so they bussed us all out to Bell Works in New Jersey I didn't know what was going to happen, but it was like this really super fun. It was like Disney World if you're a Severance fan.
I saw your pics online. I mean, it looked incredible.
It was so fun. And so like we went in and they had just like troops of people who were basically like working the event, but they were clearly actors. Like even the people passing the hors d'oeuvres and everything, everybody was kind of in character as like a Lumen employee. And then there were just like extras milling around with folders and lab coats and everything, and a receptionist who was sitting out front. And it was really cool to see the building. And then there was a Q&A that Stephen Colbert
oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that he was coming. I mean, it's just like it seemed great.
They pulled out the stops and like the whole cast, most of the whole cast was there. Jen Tulloch she looked so beautiful. She was so funny and just everyone was lovely. And then we were invited to an after party on the lower level of the Bellworks building. And it was a party like the 1990s. That's what I said in my Instagram post. It was like they fed us. They had everything. And people were like, are they going to have waffles? It'd be so weird if they didn't have a waffle party. And of course, they had like a elaborate waffle party set up, elaborate melon party set up.
I love that.
It was so good. So many fun things to do. Zach Cherry, I was talking to a friend and I did not know that Zach Cherry was also like a friend of his. And so none of the cast came down to the after party, but Zach Cherry sort of snuck in to say hello to this friend. So we just had a nice chat with him. He's such a sweet guy. And then people started coming up asking for pictures, which he very nicely did. And then he had to go walk his dog, which is such a New York thing. And, and I just was like, it was a really delightful evening. I met so many nice people. I ran into friends, but I also met nice people who I hadn't met before. A young woman who just started working for QVC was there. So I got to meet her and she's going to be helping out on our show too. And the reason why I'm saying like, this is what I'm doing my best at is because I was like, I know it's going to be crazy once I get to New York and I'm going to be focused so much on the show, but I'm going to RSVP yes to this and really make an effort to go because it'll give me something to like look forward to, something to, it just got me out of my room and off my computer. And like that is the thing.
And not scrolling.
Exactly. That's the thing that I never do. And so, so I'm glad I didn't say to myself like, I don't want to go to this thing by myself and it's going to be weird, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't weird at all. It was great. Go to things by yourself. That's it. That's the whole story.
I think that's fucking great.
Yeah. And I wasn't by myself.
No, you weren't.
Okay.
And also, I think it's great to like do the thing where you're like, I know I'm going to be overwhelmed. I don't want to, but like you still did it. Like you RSVP, yes. And like, here's the great news. You could have just not gone if you were too exhausted.
Exactly.
But you gave yourself the option.
Right.
And then you ended up having a really great time.
Yeah. It was pretty fun.
I feel like I'm doing my best at like really like reframing things in my life that like previously I've been like, that's not what I want, or this isn't what I wanted it to look like or whatever. And then having this realization that like, well, okay, like let's like walk it through. You know what I mean? Like, is it not exactly how you envisioned it? Okay, fine. But what is it? But fine. We know what it isn't, but what is it? Right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then like reframing things from that place has made things like shift for me in terms of how I feel about it and like in a positive way.
Right.
And I feel like that's been really good for me.
I think that's so good because, well, it kind of ties into like everything we've been talking about. Like today, we talked about the White Lotus finale. I think it ties into that. Block your ears if you haven't seen the finale yet. But like when Chelsea says to Rick, like you have to stop thinking about the love you didn't get and think about the love that you have. I'm right here, and we've been talking about recipes and making things and like, you experiment with things and they don't always come out the way that you were picturing or the way that it was described to you that it was going to come out. But sometimes it's like comes out 100 times better. And you wouldn't know if you were just like stuck on what it was supposed to be, you know?
Well, yes. And also there's a thing about like and also the Rick and Chelsea. Oh my God, that ending was so fucking good. But also the thing.
It's going to haunt
did you
me.
love it? I'm haunted.
I
Also,
loved it.
By the way, I truly did know. Like I like called that.
You did know? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
I felt like it was very obvious. From last week.
I had fun talking about White Lotus on social media this morning, but it also pointed out to me that, like, you know, I was making jokes about, like, things that I found funny or whatever. Like, no TV show is ever gonna deliver what I would have, even if I thought that I knew what was going to happen, it's not going to be as it would be if I wrote it myself, obviously. And I feel like people really want that. And I'm like, I think your emotions are dysregulated, you know? Like, just enjoy something and like make a few jokes about it and share the water cooler talk.
Wait, what do you mean? They want it to be like
people were
just exactly what they want?
Exactly. People were so worked up that it turned out differently or that, you know, that something wasn't explained. And I was like, yeah, sometimes things aren't explained, you know?
Because I'm not going to lie, though, for real. John came over and we watched it together because I was like, when that kid, again, we've already said spoilers, right?
Yeah, spoiler. Don't go any further if you haven't watched it.
When I thought that fucking kid died, I was screaming.
Oh my God.
First of all, I started sobbing.
Yeah.
And then I was screaming, and then I was like, it's Shakespearean! I hate it! I fucking hate Shakespeare! Like,
so you were happy when he came back to life?
Fuck yes! Because the whole thing is like, that father has to fucking face it. He has to face what's waiting for him back home.
Right.
He's got to Schitt's Creek it.
Right.
And like the family has to deal. They have to fucking deal. They've got to face their shit.
Yeah.
And like, if the kid died, that becomes the tragedy.
Right.
And then like, he never has to, and then there's just, and then all of the complications of that.
Right. I mean, although like from a standpoint of drama, from a dramatic standpoint, adding another heinous crime to that would have been a crime that the father committed.
Well, it would have been, but it would have been like also accidental.
Yes.
And there would have been no way. Like it's all just, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
And I just felt like the point is that he went through all of these ideations of ways to get out of it.
Right.
He was like, that was the thing, right? Like the dad the entire time was like drugging himself and trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like Parker Posey's journey is like weirdly like having things come into focus in such a clear way. That fucking thumbs up at the end. I don't know. I know they're going to win this. They are going to win the SAG Award for Best Ensemble, right?
Yeah.
Like they just are. They have to. But like, I want Bib to win. I want Carrie Coon to win.
Carrie Coon is so good.
No, she's great. But I want Bib to win.
Yeah.
I want Carrie Coon to win. I want Parker Posey to win. I want like everyone to win the awards.
Yeah, Walton Goggins, incredible.
Walt has to win. I mean, this is his year for everything.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for him. I love him so much. I've been friends with him since the vice principal's days. And like, he's just a really, really wonderful person and like wonderful actor.
Yeah.
And puts his entire being into he's very much like Michelle in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like in the way that he approaches his work. I just fucking love him so much. And he's so good. And that was so intense.
Yeah, he was
Wild.
even like his social media posts around it
I
have
know.
been like so thoughtful, and you
know.
just realize like how much effort and energy he's putting into what all of us just think is like, oh, it's just a thing he can do or whatever. And it's really like he's been scholarly about it, and it's really incredible. Everyone, I mean, what a fun, like, it's so funny to say what a fun show and what a fun finale, because obviously it's like dreadful and tragic and the things that happen. But I was like, were you not entertained? I'm here for the entertainment, and I was certainly entertained. And Natasha Rothwell,
She's incredible. And I felt like I was getting so nervous. I just kept screaming, like, she's got to live.
oh my
Let her
gosh, I
live,
was so
Greg.
nervous too. And then she posted something on social media like prior, just talking about what a joy it's been to play that character. And I was like, oh no, is she like tipping her hand? Like I almost couldn't handle it. Anyway, how fun that like we all have a show that we're talking about. It's been such a long time. Despite all of the shitty things going on in the world, we've had a couple of really good like pieces of popular art that we've all been able to share. Or most,
Totally.
you know, and it's really fun. It's fun to be comparing notes and thoughts on that kind of thing. So they all just smashed it. I had a fun time watching it.
Well, you know, that's always the thing is like when the world is falling to pieces, thank God we've got some good shit to watch. You know what I mean? It's a real lifesaver.
You're
in
not
this
kidding.
moment.
You're not kidding. And by the way, if you paid a little bit of attention, you could learn something from it. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
But
you really could.
you know, I don't have high hopes. I mean, Star Wars also massively popular, and no one seems to have learned a damn thing
No, at all.
about what they were trying to say in the many, many, many Star Wars movies.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Well,
All right.
hope you guys hope you enjoyed White Lotus if you watched it.
Yes. Watch Dying for Sex. It's on FX.
If you probably a lot of people were watching it this weekend.
Yeah.
I know, anecdotally speaking, because
Yeah.
people were reaching out to me left and right.
Oh, good. Yeah. Watch Michelle in Dying for Sex. That whole cast is also incredible. And thanks for all the nice messages you have been sending about the podcast. A lot of you have been just sending really nice, kind messages, both specific and vague. Just
What does that mean?
You know, some people are like, you helped me get through this surgery. You helped me
I
get
see.
through this
Mhm,
diagnosis. And some people are like, hey, I just wanted to write and say thanks for the podcast. Like, I appreciate what you do and that you make it. And just it's ticked up recently. And I don't know. I'm like, are we putting out energy where it feels like we need to be encouraged? I don't know. Or is it just like people are like, everything is so fucked right now that I'm just
Again,
gonna,
like we just said.
Yeah.
Like what we just said. We're like,
Yeah.
thank God for this thing because
yes.
Jesus.
So I just really appreciate the messages because, you know, it's just nice to hear. It's nice to hear that you made a little bit of a difference in someone's day. Like that's why I do it. It's not just for, you know, hanging out with you, which I do
Rude.
love.
Fucking rude.
No, but I'm saying we could just hang out and not record it, you know? Like I do love hanging out with you.
Yeah,
but,
that's true. That's true. So
you
true.
know? So like that's a little something extra that means a lot to me. So I just want to say thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks. We want to say thanks. I hope you're having a wonderful week. And we recorded this on Monday, so if something catastrophic happens Tuesday, we don't know.
If White Lotus releases another finale that's totally different,
We don't know.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. we messed up. We don't know.
We love you so much, guys. We'll
Love you
talk to you really
guys.
soon. Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.